Time, as always, to talk about this week's episode of The Flash. Full spoilers for Season 2, Episode 7, entitled Guerrilla Warfare.
Huh.
Barry. Yeah?
I,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know it was the title, so I'm snickering at the title.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Obviously, this episode's about Grodd. Barry races to rescue Caitlin when Grodd kidnaps her. Cisco plans a date with the new barista at Jitters. And Patty thinks Barry is hiding something. Could also call this episode the one where Barry learned to walk again, I guess.
It's funny because we were talking last week about how long we think it'd take him before he's back to normal, and I think we thought it would probably be by the end of the episode. But I was kind of shocked that even at the start of the episode he was already in a walking stick. I was like, oh, I thought we'd be in a wheelchair for at least a scene or two, like at the start.
We did get a scene or two of him in the
Yeah, but it was after
chair.
when he was already kind of recuperating, so it wasn't the same. It was
Yeah, and they didn't take advantage of any, fun role reversal
yeah, that was weird.
of Wells walking while Barry's not.
I guess I didn't want to. I guess it was just the point was that Zoom fucked him up. So
Yeah, it was more about just the emotional trauma and everything, which was nice that that his dad got brought back in.
yeah,
Give a nice little pep talk. So that was all nice and some good character development. But really, we got to talk about the star of this episode, which is Grodd, of course.
and I didn't know he was going to be in this before I watched. Obviously, had I seen the name, I would have known.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to not know when you read the title.
But it's funny that because we get the scene in the lab and the scientist is clearly kind of getting mind controlled, and I sort of started snickering to myself because I thought, Jessica Jones is out in a few days, and like the main villain of that's going to be a mind control thing. What mind control's in Flash? And I actually spent like a minute trying to remember what villain in Flash was mind control, and then Grodd like showed up, and I'm like, oh, Grodd! And I was like,
Yeah.
I was really happy. It was a nice surprise, and again, he looked pretty good. The show's doing quite well with something that should look like shit on a show.
Yeah, well, obviously the key is always having fight scenes at night.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to begrudge them that. that.
Sure. It's just sometimes it was a little too dark. Like I could barely see what was even happening. But
I don't think it was as dark as the last episode he was in.
that's probably true.
I felt like this one, it was a lot more visible almost every time he showed up.
Oh, and they did do a couple of scenes where they still, they still masked how it's not going to be as super awesome as he would be in a big budget movie, but they
Yeah,
had him
but
in
it was-
daylight. They had him in daylight on security camera
Yeah.
footage, was very funny. It reminded me of like that alien walking by in Signs, except it was just a giant fucking gorilla. And then obviously at the end where he gets dumped into Earth too, and he's out in the wilderness once more. So
Which is really cool because I remember even earlier in this episode I was thinking, they're doing a quite a good job of Grodd in this, but it's a shame that the whole Gorilla City thing from the comics isn't in it. And then Wells mentioned there's a place on Earth too to put him, and I'm like, oh wait, is he going to be on Earth too? And then that's where they put him at the end of the episode. He's actually in the city from the comics, which I can't remember the
Yeah.
title of it. Maybe it is just Gorilla City because I can't remember any other title for it. But
yeah.
um,
No,
yeah,
that's really
that's
cool. They've done a very good job with all of the comic book stuff. They just
yeah.
don't shy away from it. They're like, yeah, fuck it, send them to Earth 2, and that's where Gorilla City is.
Even Earth 2 for a start is like, like we've
Yeah.
got Earth 2. Like, and they're all used to saying it now because like Barry's like, oh, this isn't him, this is Wells from Earth 2. He's like, Earth 2?
Yeah,
do I qualify that a little bit?
I mean, not just that. You got Wells walking around in Reverse Flash costume. You've got them talking at the end about making Barry one of the rings.
Yeah,
For a
he's
suit?
gonna, the suit and the ring, yeah, which is
Oh my god, it's so crazy. They're gonna get to that point, and we're not even a season and a half, like, and we're already getting like Hot Girl and Hawkman imagery and everything. Oh my god, it's so crazy.
yeah, that was cool too. And I kind of liked at the end when Cisco get the second flash where he's seen it was her that had the
Yeah.
wings. He just kind of went along with it. He's like, no, everything's fine. So he's like,
Well, and then whenever he was following her, he was like, yeah.
yeah, he was like, oh, that was hot. Like,
He's gonna be so stoked to have a superheroine girlfriend. It's gonna be awesome. He's like fucking bird woman. It's awesome.
He's
I don't
probably going
know.
to name her Hot Girl.
Probably.
It'll be him that does that, I'd imagine. It just makes sense. He names everything. The only time I thought Grodd didn't look great, actually, is when he falls over. Because, I mean, he himself looked fine in terms of like how he looked, but the animation looked a bit kind of like just sort of. Ugh. It was like a
Yeah, pretty
it
stiff.
was like a stiff animation. I was thinking like in video games, I was thinking this was like a PS2 era like fall as opposed to
Oh.
a current gen one. But yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it looks fine. He's got a great presence, you know, when he like just throws the guy up against the overpass and like
God, it's real cool.
splats his
Yeah.
head off of it. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Well, and even having full dialogue with
Mm.
Caitlin. I like it's like it's got that slight echo to it. It's like it's like his mind is reverberating in your mind, and it really sells that is an intelligent giant fucking gorilla. So
No, they do a good job. I mean, it's no Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, but
no, but
that's fine.
yeah,
I mean,
for CW, it's pretty damn good. So
also, I want to point out, I liked how they had Wells pretending to be, original Wells, and the scene where like Cisco was trying to get him to like say some lines,
God, that was so funny.
and he sort of said it wrong, and it was kind of shit. And I was like, that's good. That's quite good acting actually, that he can sort of mimic himself but make it shit, and then get it right. It's actually quite a hard thing to do. Like,
Yeah.
could you do a bad impression of yourself? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know, but Wells is a smart guy, so
Yeah.
and a good actor. So
Yeah, Tom Cavanagh's doing not bad. Doing not bad. I'm glad he's around. I'm liking Dick Wells. Adding an extra dynamic to the show. Which is
yeah,
good.
it's certainly an element that I didn't even know that I wanted,
Yeah.
but there it is. Yeah, I guess the only thing we could really leave out on is, Patty is definitely a bit suspicious of what's going on. So how long do you think it'll be before she finds out that he's the Flash?
If I was to guess, I'd say before Christmas.
Yeah, yeah, I'd take that bet.
Which is another, 2 or 3 episodes I think we've got left.
Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah, I would say before Christmas. Maybe not enough. I'm not confident enough that I'd put money on it, but, I think before Christmas. I hope she takes it well and she's on Team Flash.
That'd be cool. It would suck if she just uses emotional bait and ends up dying. But
Which
sometimes that has
she
to happen.
so is. By the way, Zoom's so killing her by the end of the season. She's a goner.
Oh God, that's sad.
I don't know
No,
when. By the way, guys, this isn't a spoiler. This is just me predicting.
Right, we're just
I want
yeah.
to point that out.
Sometimes at the end of our reviews, we get a little speculative. You think the aliens that are troubling Fargo, fucking dimension, and
You know what? Nothing would amuse me more if Fargo ended up in the DC universe at the end of the season.
it's so weird. Supergirl just comes in. She's
Yeah,
like,
why
"Oh
not?
shit, I was on my overshot it. I was going to Kansas." And
Or maybe Fargo's on Earth 3 and Supergirl will have a Minnesota accent.
oh God, that would be so great.
I was here to save you. I can't do it. I sounded Irish. I'm sorry.
Oh jeez.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
You had to save you. No, that's weird.
No,
Anyway,
I can't do
let's
it.
not do accents right now.
No, it's not.
Yeah. After watching season 1 of Fargo, I could do the accent for like a week, and then I
That was like training.
left me. Anyway, we're gonna leave you now because that's the end of our review for this week's episode of The Flash.